It is the morning after, and even though it's not a very good morning, I must say a good morning to us, cherished viewers. You're welcome to the Koko Digest Morning Show. I am your host for today, Ayura Awuno. We are coming to you live from the studios of Clock TV, and you can also catch us on GoTV channel 184. And if you're not in your homes and you are on the move, you can join us on social media, particularly on Facebook and on YouTube. And yesterday we had a devastating, incident happening, and I think it's more of a national disaster or natural. It's not even natural at this point. It's something that is our own doing, and it has cost lives and property. And we would like to send our deepest condolences to affected persons. And I'm hoping that this is a wake-up call to all of us as Ghanaians, from the leadership down to the last man. Now, here's what to expect on the morning show, as we'll be discussing the floods and the devastating impacts it's had on certain people. We're also going to be talking on lifestyle about, going beyond the talents, the skills acquisition as well. And then the business segments would also be bringing us, news on the business world. And then we'll extend the conversation about the floods and other trending issues as well. For now, let's take our motivational quotes for today. We motivate ourselves and our viewers. And today's quote is by Karl Barth. And he says, although no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. Although no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. This is by Karl Barth. And this quote just reminds us that we cannot change the past, undo mistakes, or rewrite the moments that have already happened. However, the past does not have to determine the future. Every person has the power to make different choices from this moment forward, learn from previous experiences, and create a better outcome. A new beginning does not always mean starting life over. Sometimes it means changing our mindset, taking a new step, and choosing a different direction. The focus is not on what has been lost, but on what can still be built. This is a quote for today. And as much as this is a quote for us as individuals, this quote also should touch us as a nation, especially with regards to what's happening currently, especially in this rainy season. Yes, the past cannot be changed, but the future, or even the present into the future, can be changed. And it goes to show that a lot of structural and fundamental issues are, being exposed with this season. And as a nation, we need to look for change. We need to look forward to changing what is happening at the moment for the future to be a better one. This is a quote for today. I hope that you also imbibe it, you meditate upon it, and then make certain decisions as Ghanaians, our waste management, our attitudes towards a lot of things in our environments as well. There's a quote for today. Up next is the weather report by Perennial.
Thank you very much, Iran. I want to say a very good morning to our cherished viewers, and thank you for always choosing the best. As usual, it's time for the weather report from the Ghana Meteorological Agency. Like Yaya rightly stated, yesterday wasn't a good day for the whole of the nation. And so, as always, this morning, GMET is warning us and telling us how the weather is going to be like. It should be on your screen by now. And for this morning, today, I'll go into details. I'll take the specifics. And so for this morning, GMET says that the people of Aflao Anloga, Accra, Kaswa, Winneba, Cape Coast, Takrade, Axim. There's a 40% chance of rain this morning. So the people within these areas should take note and act accordingly. And then the people of Hoko, Foridia, Akimotha, Kwewu, Kumase, and its environ, GMET says it is going to be very misty. There's 40% chance of mist. It is going to be very misty. And as usual, whenever it's misty, GMET advises that drivers, reduce their speeding and make good use of their headlights as well. And then for the people of Ketikrache, Atebubu, Edra, Kintampo, Goso, Sunyani, there's also 40% chance of mist. So it is going to be misty condition around these areas. And then the people in the northern region, Yendi Tamale, Bole, Damango, Bolgatanga, Nelerugu, it is going to be partly cloudy this morning. It is going to be partly cloudy this morning. As the day progresses into the afternoon, the people of Aflao, Anloga, Accra, Kaswa, Beniba, Cape Coast, Takrad, the people of Aflao, Accra, Anloga, Kaswa, and Winneba, GMET says there's 40% chance of rain this afternoon. There's 40% chance of rain this afternoon. The people of Cape Coast, Takradi, Axim, it remains mostly cloudy. For the people of Ho to Kufredia, Akimoda, Kwautafo, Kumase, Obuase, Takwa, Seshibekwai, Ketikrache, Atebubu, GMET says there's 40% chance of rain as well. They're going to experience thunderstorm and rain. So the people within there should take notes and act accordingly. And for the people of Edra and Kentampo, they are going to experience mostly cloudy weather. And the people of Goso and Sunyane.
We'll get the rest of the weather reports. Do stay tuned. welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show. And if you're just tuning in, we're taking our weather report from Peter. So let's wrap up with the weather report and then we go straight into the trending issues. So Peter.
Right, yeah. So I'll proceed from where I ended. And so I was talking about the afternoon section, how the weather is going to be like from GMET. And then in the afternoon, Aflao, Alonga, Accra, and Kaswa, GMET says there's 40% chance of rain this afternoon. And the people of Cape Coast, Takrade, and Axim, it is going to be mostly cloudy. The people of Kuforidia, Akimboda, Kwautafo, Kumasi, Obuasi, Takwa, Sefibekwa, Ketekrache, Atebubu, GMET says there's 40% chance of thunderstorm and rain as well. So the people within these areas should take note and act accordingly. The people of Ejura, Kintampo, GMET says it is going to be mostly cloudy in the afternoon, while the people of Goso and Sunyan, there's 40% chance of rain and thunderstorm as well. And then the people of Techiman and Sampa, it is going to be mostly cloudy. And Yendi and Tamale, there's 40% chance of rain and thunderstorm as well. The remaining part of the northern region remains sunny. They are going to experience sunny intervals. And then as the day progresses, as we are entering into the evening, GMET says from Aflao down to Akimboda, it is going to be mostly cloudy. But the people of Obuasi, Takwa, there's 40% chance of rain. The same thing applies to the people of Sefibekwa and Ketekrache. There's 40% chance of rain. The northern region and parts of the middle belt remains partly cloudy, with the temperature ranging from 25 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius. Today, the state of the sea is rough. And so basically, this is what GMET is telling us. And let me stress on what is going to happen here in Accra and Aflao. So Accra and Aflao this morning, GMET says there's 40% chance of rain. The same thing applies in the afternoon, 40% chance of rain. And then in the evening, it is going to be mostly cloudy. Daira, that's it for the weather outlook for today.
All right. Thank you so much. So as we are aware, May, June, July is usually the rainy season. And as we can see, it's becoming devastating for us. Last year, we had such tragedies. And this year, more tragedies are occurring. Apparently, the death toll is in 2 digits now. And the loss of lives, the loss of property is immeasurable, and also the exposure of so many fundamental issues in our society is also quite alarming. So let's take notes. Let us also, take certain decisions and make certain changes in our lives. Let's be strapped with whatever we can. If you live in places that are, flood prone or close to any of these flood prone areas, maybe you need a Wellington boots. Get armed with certain things so that you can move around. Also, let's learn 1 or 2 things on how to save ourselves or how to protect ourselves. Let's give shelter to who needs shelter. Let's be our brother's keeper. So as we are continuing with this conversation about the floods, I think we'll take our word for the day and then we get into getting acquainted with my co-host here and then discuss the floods at length. So the word for today is threshold. The word for today is threshold. Now, threshold means the starting point of a new stage or experience. And I like the fact that today's quote and the word for the day, it seems to be sending a message to us.
Yeah.
Yes. And so the words that are similar in meaning to the word threshold, we have beginning, we have onset, we have start, we have commencement, we have gateway, we have entrance, brink, verge, doorway, and launching point. Then the words that are opposite in meaning to the word threshold, we have the end, conclusion, finish, completion, closure, exit, endpoint, and terminus. So the thought for the day on this word is that every new season begins when you step across the threshold. That is the beginning. So this is the word for the day. My co-hosts are here with me, Beverly Anobil and Peter Nsia. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, Yara.
Good morning, Yara.
I mean, the morning is not that good, but we are still grateful. Yeah.
I hope we're well.
up and grateful. Divine selection.
See, we were safe or relatively safe from the floods.
Exactly.
Honestly, I got part of my room wet, but the rains didn't really enter my room. But I think looking at the situation on ground,
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse. Anything could have happened, but by the grace of God.
We thank God. Peter, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I am fortunate. My area is so safe that, I mean, the settlement, everything there is on point. I would say my people, my area, they are a bit disciplined in terms of, if you want to compare it to other areas, my area, they are a bit disciplined. Gutters are always clean, desilted. So whenever it rains, you could see that the water runs down to wherever it's supposed to be. And so my area, we were free. And looks like, though, sometimes we say that we currently have a listening government, but we don't have listening people. We don't have listening people. We are not adhering to the regulations in terms of flooding. And this is what is happening. And like you rightly stated, now the death toll has actually increased. And it's very sad.
Well, so as we are aware, the floods happened yesterday. Parts of Accra, major parts of Accra were flooded, submerged in water, people's homes, people's cars, and property. So let's take a look at some of the videos to see the severity of this issue.
Situation at Malam Junction right now. Nyame ene di ehun afofie ensu aya rum ansa na ya ba no hwe malam jas say ka anko kamba baby
the Bamcha rescue team Kumchacha area please we need a rescue team please we need an assistance for people that are down in their room the whole place is flooded with water we are begging for an assistance. National Service, Fire Service, please, Kumchacha area, behind the Malam Station, Malcolm. That road, the whole place is flooded. The whole place is flooded. People's houses have been occupied by the rainwater, and it has entered their rooms. People are dying, children are dying. Please come and rescue, okay? Pregnant women are in the room. We are begging, we've cried to a rooftop. Please, we need rescue.
So those were some videos of the severity of the floods, and yes, there were some fire outbreaks as well. And I mean, this conversation, we've had it over and over, but it seems we still need to continue this conversation and let people know that there's a lot to be done from the citizens all the way to leadership. And Peter, you were saying something about the fact that we may have a listening government, but we don't necessarily have a listening people. If you want to, expatiate on that.
And I would say I disagree with Peter at a point. He said his people are obedient and then the settlements are good. But we are in a state where sometimes, in our times now, the people are living in a very good place, but the waters where they are coming from goes a long way to affect innocent people.
Yeah, so I mean, when we talk about flooding in Ghana, we've been able, like Area stated, we've had this conversation over and over again, and we've been able to identify, the problems, the causes of these flooding. And one, as we always talk about the human factor in it, by choking our gutters, desilting our gutters, our drains, and what have you. So the reason why I said that my people are kind of obedient and they are much more, concerned about the environment is that when you go to my area, there are no choke gutters. At least where I stay, the settlement, everything is okay. Everywhere is tiled. Gutters are always clean. So whenever it rains, the water flows down. So to your markets around that area, I mean, it never gets flooded. And so the reason why I said that we have a listening government, but we don't have a listening people, is that we have all the rules, we have all the laws in terms of waste management. In terms, we have penalties and what have you, but it looks as though the people are not listening. Maybe as of yesterday, when it was raining heavily and people were dying, people were calling for help. Some people were still dumping rubbish in the rain.
For the water to carry.
You understand?
The link between what you're saying and what Bethlehem is also saying is the fact that it seems that when the waters, let's say, as your neighborhood, very obedient, very law-abiding people, when it flows, it goes to go and affect certain people in another neighborhood who may not necessarily be as law-abiding as your people. So there, the choked gutters and there is, then the flood comes there. So ideally, what we should have is that then everybody should have been law-abiding, keeping their communities clean, so that the waters can pass freely without affecting anybody's life or property. Is that not it?
Yeah, it is. But then
over the years, we've had places where we've located or find as a flood-prone area. We know that that's the case, but this time around is different. It's affecting places that we never imagined. Like such places will experience flooding.
The routes, as we like to say, where the water is supposed to pass has been blocked. And one thing we know about water is it will find its way. So if the way the water is supposed to flow, as nature has already, set, is not working, then it will find its way out, which is that if the main way it goes, usually, like the way we know that, I think there was this day Peter was giving us the extensive breakdown of how the waters are supposed to flow all the way into the Odo River and all of that into the sea. Now, if the pathway is blocked, it will go and pass through somebody's house to find its way downward. Because let's also take note of the fact that we are on the coast, which means that we are in the lowland area. So we are at a disadvantage when it rains and the water is coming from the northern parts of, let's say, Africa or something. Because when you realize, even with the meteorological services, what they tell us is that, the storm is coming from somewhere and all of that. So even when it rains, there's a way the water moves. Because it is supposed to go and meet the sea. It all goes back to the sea. So moving from the top, coming to the bottom, and the land, the topography is where the waters were supposed to flow in certain ways. There were streams, there were rivers, there were lagoons and lakes to hold some of these waters. These ones have now been filled up to accommodate human life. Then it will find its way.
So you see, like when I talk about discipline, I'm not talking about discipline in the context of clearing our gutters. It cuts across people building on waterways and what have you. Now, Accra has been flooding since 1935. That is over 91 years now. But the reason why we are here talking about this very issue is that the number of fatalities, the problems that is causing the ordinary Ghanaian has actually increased over the years. Why are we talking here? Just because it rained for some time yesterday.
It rained almost more than 24 hours.
Exactly.
More than 10 hours, if I could. It
Because
started raining around 4.
It started
4
raining
a.m.
around 2 a.m. in my neighborhood. Down to 2 p.m. It's, I think, from where I live, it stopped around between 5 and 6 p.m. So from 2 a.m. all the way, rain. It stops intermittently, but it kept raining. And it was not the kind of rain where you could pass through to go anywhere. So looking at this, just one day's worth of rain.
And I mean, most people are aware, whoever is in Accra here is aware that June, July, and even kudos to the Ghana Meteorological Agency, they gave us the heads up before now. They told us how much we are going to, how the rainfall is going to be like this year. And back to the discipline aspect of it. Now, we all know the root causes. People building in waterways, people who are not listening and dumping refuge, choking our gutters and what have you. And then there's been this announcement from authorities, unauthorized buildings, that we should desist from it. Even before now, we saw some assemblies embarking on demolition exercises and what have you. And then I will come back to that. I have a problem with them, but I'll come back to that. But let's just focus on it. And so it rained, and everywhere is choked. The people are suffering, and then even with fire inclusive. So it means that in as much as our leaders are doing their best, we the citizens are also not doing our best.
Our leaders doing their best.
Because I mean, with regards to what is happening.
When you talk about leaders, you bring me to speak about the number of institutions that are supposed to be handling these things. So I'm going to take us through it so that we see truly if these leaders are doing their best. So in Ghana, city planning, settlement, development and land use management are shared among several institutions rather than handled by a single agency. And the most important institutions are the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. And they provide the overall policy direction for urban and local governance, oversee metropolitan MMDAs. Basically, they coordinate decentralized government, decentralized development and settlements planning. They also coordinate this, they also supervise institutions involved in spatial planning at the local level. Then we have the Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority, known as LUSPA. They are not too far from here. And they were formerly the Town and Country Planning Department. Now they are a whole authority. And they prepare the national, regional, district, and local spatial development plans. They guide land use, zoning, urban expansion, settlement development as well. They also approve and monitor planning schemes. They advise the government and local assemblies on physical planning matters, and they help control unauthorized developments and promote orderly urban growth. This is LUSPA. Then we have the MMDAs. We already know what the MMDAs do. So we have, let's say, the Accra Metropolitan, we have the Tema Metro, we have Lankantanan, we have Kumasi Metropolitan Assemblies. We know of them, we hear of them, right? And they implement these spatial plans. So you realize that when this thing comes from above, look at all the channels it has to go through, and yet look at what we are facing. So not to go through all, we have the Ministry of Works and Housing and Water Resources also involved. And all of these have agencies under them that play a role. Then we have the Lands Commission. Now we know where the Lands Commission comes in. The authorization of some of these, plots people buy and whatnot, demarcations of where the plot is and all of that, how much buffer zone for roads and all of that. Then we also have the Office of the Head of Local Government Service. Then we have National Development Planning Commission. Now, for National Development Planning Commission, they also prepare long-term national development frameworks, ensure regional and district plans align with national development goals. They coordinate development planning across sectors, including urban and settlement development. Then we have the eighth one. So right now I'm about to mention the eighth institution. That is the local authorities, the traditional authorities. So we have our chiefs and stools and skins. Now they control a large portion of land in Ghana, which is the customary land. And they allocate land for residential, commercial, and community development. They influence settlement expansion and land use decisions. They often collaborate with the MMDAs and LUSPA on planning schemes. So in this case, look at these 8 institutions. Now, I also got a bit of a simplified chain, how it works. So the national policy comes from, let's say, NDPC,
Okay.
Ministry of Local Government, and then Ministry of Works and Housing. Then it goes to Spatial Planning, that's LUSPAP.
Yeah.
Then it goes to the local implementation, that's the Metropolitan, Municipal, and District Assemblies. Then it comes to the Land Administration, that's the Lands Commission and the Traditional Chiefs. Then the Development Control is where we have the building permits, zoning enforcement, settlement regulation, and infrastructure coordination.
Yeah.
Even EPA is in this case, is in this mix somewhere as well, because you also need to go and acquire your permits and all of that. So we have 8 institutions.
Yeah.
8.
Yes, so I like that you've given an extensive, explanation to that, and that's ranged from the top to the down. And then these institutions are responsible for, developing policies to ensure that flooding become a thing of the past. But then I won't take you far. Recently, when we experienced the first one, and then we had demolition exercises ongoing, we saw our very own people saying that the government is inhumane. You're pulling down buildings. Where are the people supposed to go, and what have you? Now, these people, in a way, are preventing these institutions from working. Not to even talk much. Sometimes when there are, demolition exercises, we've identified a problem and we are trying to demolish, some of these buildings. Example is what happened at Kaswa. We saw people who are against it, and then we tend to be doing politics with this. So yes, we have these institutions, and then when you contact these institutions, they will give you a rundown, a framework of what they've done throughout the year. And I'm sure that NDP has, let's say, I think they have about 30 years or 20 years developmental plan in terms of community development and what have you. They have everything beautifully sitting on papers. But when it comes to the implementation, we all play a major role in the implementation of this. Now, in your district assembly member or MCE has come to tell you that this is the situation we are facing here. This place is the flood-prone area. And so ensure that you manage your waste well. When you do your waste, make sure you put it here. You don't choke your drains. The MCE will come and talk about it. It's up to the people to either adhere to that directive or not. And what we are seeing is that most people are not adhering to the directive. And in a way, I also say that government is not doing that much, because we've not seen people punished doing some of these things. We've not seen people punished for building in waterways. We've not seen people punished for dumping refuse in our gutters and what have you. Because thanks to social media, currently whenever it's raining, we see people videoing, and we have seen so many videos online, seeing people dumping refuse, people building waterways and causing people's death and what have you. Since 1935, we've buried over 3,000 people. We are still burying people for this same issue. So I'm saying that, in as much as government has, some lapses that is not doing well, the ordinary Ghanaian is a part of it.
Yeah.
Now, when you take a look at these flood-prone areas here in Accra, so I was discussing with Prosper that I see it to be like a migration issue. Now, looking at Accra, when Accra became the capital, the population compared to now has increased drastically. And then you find most people, a whole lot of people in these flood-prone areas, the lowlands. When we talk about the Alajo, the Kaneshie, and that environment, you find most people there because the houses there are very affordable that people can afford. And now talking about development, in terms of development, most of our national cake is here in Accra. And so everybody is traveling to Accra to make a living. And here lies the case. Accra is very small compared to other regions. Accra is very small. And so when these people come, they resort to the lowland areas. That is where they can afford. When you check statistics, these flood-prone areas it has been growing over the years. And so it is something that we have to decongest Accra. And then I'm super excited that yesterday when the president took an aerial tour of the flooding areas, he said that they are going to decongest Accra. They have a long-term, project which is about 20 years where they will take part of government machinery to other places so that people will no more travel to Accra, but travel to those areas to also enjoy, the economic benefit and what have you.
But with the issue of the enforcement too, it is not to defend the people though, but then we are going to be facing issues like, this is where I live, this is the only place I know. I should live here and go away. That mentality. So even on social media with conversations about it, I found that a number of people were also talking about the fact that there should be some sort of shelter provided, where when you are going to undertake these demolition exercises, you ship the people there. And then with the enforcement, you let them know that if you don't move, we will move you. So this time it's not going to be that you are moving the people without any sort of future plans for them, but rather there's a place for you to go. So you go. Now, when the military and all these other security services are deployed to crack down on these people, it is very much warranted. But when you come and tell these people that leave this place, when they literally have nothing, that kiosk is their whole livelihood. They have nowhere to go, probably no family, no friends, all of that, or even their friends are all there with them. Where then do they go? You know, because like you said, people are coming to Accra to see greener pastures, get closer to the national cake. But these are some of the realities. And I was also thinking about it that when you are going towards the outskirts of Accra, there are so many lands there. Fine, they may be people's lands, all right. Yes, I understand that. But there's a lot of vegetation. There's a lot of just almost like they're farms, but they're not necessarily farms. It's just a lot of bush, right? So why not maybe some conversations between the necessary stakeholders where a shelter can be made there, ship all these people there for a certain period of time, do the necessary town planning and clearances and demolitions, make sure the city is back to where it needs to be. If you're going to put up housing here in the city as well, what are the strategic places? What kind of housing are we putting here for the people who have built their lives here? That, okay, if they are going to move back, so now I'm linking it to affordable housing because it's also something that I'm pretty passionate about. So now, if after all of that has been done, then the government now decides that, okay, we are putting up certain flats here, we're making communities here, so and so, housing, residential areas for people, and they are going to rent and then pay to the government for the government to keep using that. It would work. It would be a nice cycle. But right now, all these displaced people, some of these people are destitute at this point. You could see the water was already doing its own demolition. Somebody's home just broken.
I think we need a proper planning, like a space of 2 to 3 years for Accra to plan well. Because looking at this situation, it means that if it's not looked at and we always attach it to political issues and there, it means next year you are still going to be around taking videos and pictures of flooding.
So you see, this situation there, Yara, in as much as I agree with the both of you, it is high time we take the hard decision. I mean, development comes with pain. And we've been talking about this issue for the past 91 years. Media houses have been reporting. We have, leaders coming to tell us, NADBO, giving relief, support, and what have you. It is high time we stand on our grounds. I mean, for the fact that government and experts have projected that we will need about $5 billion to be able to solve this issue, then it means that they've been able to identify the problems. So if you've been able to identify the problems, then it's high time we crack down. Now, talking about what just happened yesterday, people are still calling for help and what have you. How much is government going to spend? Yesterday, the president said he has ordered the finance minister to release some money from the contingent fund to ensure that they send help to those who are looking for help. How much is government going to spend at the end of the age?
The people?
At the end. So it is high time we tackle the issue from the grassroots. I mean, we all know the causes. We all know the causes. Let's deal with it. The population here in Accra is too much, and we need to decongest. And already, per statistics and per reports online, you've seen that most people are here in Accra who have entered illegally. Now, when you go to Circle and whatever, people
say we need to decongest. There are cities bigger than Accra with larger populations. They are also very much crowded, but they are not facing half the issues we are facing.
So it's about the planning. And then we've seen people building waterways. And now, right now, we don't have space. Currently, people have built on waterways everywhere. Even people are encroaching roads. People are building their stores on roads and what have you. And it means that Accra is choked. Accra is packed. And that is why...
I think one of the issues that we have is inadequate waterways. People have built in flood-prone areas and they don't even have gutters around. So what do you expect? What do you expect? What do you expect?
You construct a road without cutters.
The water to run to.
So the issue boils down to indiscipline. And like I'm saying, I agree with the president when he says that everything, our national cake, everything is here in Accra. So it's high time we take some of the government machineries outside Accra and we'll deal with this issue once and for all. And then you made mention of the various institutions. Yes. In as much as I said that, I mean, some ordinary Ghanaians are preventing them from working. It is high time they have to be up and doing to ensure that some of these things we should discipline them because kids are dying. When I was watching the videos online, I felt so bad. Kids are dying, innocent people are dying. And then with the fire outbreak at Odona, it's very sad. And then it was reported that the Ghana National Fire Service could not, get there on time because of the floods, the flood. I mean, it's very sad.
The fact that electricity poles are being pulled down for, people are getting electrocuted by some of these live wires that are exposed and all of that. But notwithstanding, we will come back again to continue this conversation. But for now, we're going on a short break for the online and print segment. Up next is the lifestyle segment. So do stay tuned as we learn about going beyond our talents into skill acquisition. Stay tuned.
To you, our cherished viewers, and you're welcome back to the Koko This Morning Show. My name is Annabelle Bethany JBI. Yes, we know it's not really a good morning looking at how, the flooding has affected most parts of our country. Is very sad. But then this morning, we are having a very important conversation. And so it's very important that you stay back and, watch us. Whether you're a parent, you're a guardian, you're a graduate, this is very important conversation. I don't think you want to miss this very one. We're discussing beyond the talent, looking at how young people now graduate from school and then they are home with their talents. They don't know the next step to take. So you might want to stick with us because we've come in a system whereby you are looking for job, you're looking for employment, you're looking for jobs, and then they ask you, what can you do instead of what certificates do you have? So it's very important that we have this conversation. I'm joined by two experienced men in the engineering and technical field. We have here Mr. Obed Asamoah Boateng, who is the manager for modern fabrications. And we also have here Mr. Kojo Danso, who is a mechanical engineering practitioner, skilled welder, and project secretary of Youth of Christo Asafo, Greater Accra region. Gentlemen, welcome to the studio. It's good to have you guys back. How have you been?
Thank you, Beverly. I've been good. You are doing great.
Up and grateful.
Yes.
Did the flooding affect your area?
Oh no. But we want to extend. I don't know. We are with them. Those that are being affected by the flood. We want to say that we are with them. We are so sorry for it.
Right.
But then,
right. What about you, Mr. Danso?
Oh, from my side, it was okay. But like as my brother said, we extend our condolence to those that were affected by the rains yesterday. So as the president said, we are waiting for the necessary measures going to put in place then.
Right. This morning we are talking beyond the talent. We've seen situations where people go for job interviews and they ask them, what can you do? They don't even ask them, what
certificates do you have?
What certificates do you have? We ask them, what can you do? But then we take us through your journey. How was it like for you growing up? Was this particular field something that you always dreamt of doing?
Okay, so growing up, I saw people in the skill sector around me that much, but I never thought I would end up in the field as well, because I was focused on the regular formal education. But then my father is an engineer, mechanical engineer, so I used to visit his shop during vacation and all that. So yeah, but then I didn't know I was going to end up in the field until I finished my first degree.
You didn't have interest in the field at all?
I wouldn't say I didn't have interest, because I used to go to his place during vacation. I used to go and help him with work, and it was cool. I was okay with it, because me, at any point, anywhere I find myself, I see it as an opportunity to learn. Right. So regardless whether it's a skill field, it's a technical field, or it's a formal field or formal education field, I don't mind. I'm open to learning.
Our parents have this, or because they are in a particular field, they don't want their children to do that. My mom was a seamstress, okay, and growing up, she tells me that, I don't want you to become a seamstress. That's what she told me. She wants me to be like work in a white collar job. Oh, they love to see you in the office. Yes. I mean, it's nice.
Yeah, I think some parents have lived with this misconception for a very long time, where they think that their kind of work wasn't the best, and that they want, because they think they want the best for their children, they don't want their children to also end up in the same field that they are into. Like you mentioned, your mother was a seamstress, but they didn't want you to end up being a seamstress. I think it's because of a view that we have about these skill development. Right. We think that they are not enough to make one a successful person. We think that they are not enough to make one to become a successful person, and that it's only the white collar jobs that can help you become successful in life, which is very wrong. And I think it's high time that
we
we
change
change
that,
that thing.
exactly.
And now there is awareness on that and the essence of skills. So yeah, I think we will get there.
Thank you very much. Let's come to you, Mr. Kojo. So, how was the journey like? How did you go into welding and practical skills as well?
Okay, I started, I think, right after GHS. I had the feeling or the enthusiasm of going into the technical field. But your parents will be like, no, you have to go to school, become a doctor, or let's say like someone who will end up in the white collar job space.
Right.
I remember I went with my father to see one man. He was like, this your boy, no matter what, he must go to UG. Why
That's
UG?
University of Ghana.
Why should I go to University of Ghana? So my father was like, listen to what the man said. You go to UG. I was like, okay. But
Now, what course did you do at UG though?
I didn't go to UG. I went to Accra Technical University.
It's lost.
So for some time, like I decided, no, I need to go in for a skill that, aside the formal education, the skill will be able to take me beyond where I imagine I'm going to be with the white collar job. And lo and behold,
Did you ever think about money or pay or income when you decided to do that?
okay, so money is there, but what you want to achieve, the money will come by itself when you achieve that success you want to achieve. Because I remember one of the sermons of the great men we've had in Ghana, may his soul rest in peace, Emeritus Apostle Dr. Kojo Safo. He was like, you can never build a nation without skill. Because it's something the nation needs. And looking at Ghana, the skill sector contributes a lot to the country's GDP. But we are not seeing it from that angle. What we are seeing is, like being in suits, being in tie, it makes you look handsome, beautiful, but in our space, we always love what we do.
That's a very brilliant, submission. But what have you picked up about life beyond, just skills and tools when it comes to this particular profession?
Okay, so the job itself teaches you how to be disciplined. Life is all about discipline and having that mentality of doing it and doing it well. There's nothing like, I'm giving up. So when you go to the engineering space, we have a certain language that we use. We are here to solve problems. We are not here to complain about the problem. Because as an engineer, your ultimate goal is to be able to solve the problem, find ways to mitigate it. But you can't be there and be like, no, this thing you cannot do. So one thing, like aside the space, it has also taught me is not to give up. No matter how the situation may be, it's up to me to sit down, analyze how it is, and come up with the best solution, of which at the end of the day, like I'll come out successful. And whoever is around to also have a benefit of it.
Right, never to give up. That's what Mr. Kojo is telling us this morning. But when it comes to skills and talents, people normally confuse the two. How do we differentiate the two? Okay,
so the skill is something we learn, but talent itself is God-given. We have someone who can sing very well. Let's go into the football space. Always, it's going to be about who is the GOAT. So let's look at Ronaldo, then Messi.
I knew that example was coming.
Naturally, Messi knows how to play the ball. But Ronaldo also decided that this is what I want to do. So he has also gone through all the processes to give up his best. And at the end of the day, we all know how the thing is. But on a norm, the GOAT is still the GOAT. Nothing can change.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. Obed, Mr. Manager, do you agree with him? Do you think talent alone is enough to go?
No, I don't think talent alone is enough to go. Like he mentioned, talent is like naturally given, it's God given, or it's like a gift. Whilst skills is developed through learning and practice. So talent alone may not suffice because you would have to know what and how it's being done, and you would have to get experts to train you on that. So if you have, like the example he initially wanted to use, if you are given the gift that you can sing very well, you need to still go through the process of learning and training to know when to high pitch, low pitch, when to do this and not to do that, when you can sing out loud, when you have to reduce and all that. These are done
You have to know
skills.
like the techniques.
Yes, the
and all of
techniques
that.
with it. It's not just the talent alone. You can't go by with the talent alone. You need somebody to develop the talent into a well-crafted skill.
So can somebody be talented and still fail just with the talent?
Okay, so
Because like Mr. Danso was saying that yes, you have the talent, but it's the skills that will help you to get to wherever you want to go. So can you still have the talent and still fail if you don't develop it?
Oh yes, I believe so. I believe if you are of the notion that, I have the talent of doing these things and I don't need to learn again because it's naturally given, you end up failing.
But somebody too can say, oh, I'm talented, and so far as I am being consistent in whatever I do, these days we talk about consistency. Oh, every day I wake up, I do something every day. Can that alone like sustain you?
So I think the consistency is part of the training.
Okay.
So we are talking about believing that you are talented and not doing anything else to add up to it or develop it. That is where it can be dangerous. But so far as you acknowledge that you are talented, but then you need to stay consistent in whatever that you are talented in. It's part of the process of learning and developing this talent into a skill, a well-developed skill.
But how important is discipline when it comes to the engineering field? How important is it? Because honestly, I know there are some people that they work for you and it's okay for you, but after some time you realize that this thing is not working properly. That some others do the work, and then after they've done the work, there's no need for you to come and do repair and all of this thing. We see those things, especially doing electrical stuff, a lot. We see that a lot. Somebody will fix a socket for you, and then it's okay. You don't have any problem for so many years. Then somebody will just come, this socket wasn't done the same way. What happens?
Yeah. So I think discipline is very important, not just in the engineering field, but in every aspect of life. Because you don't just focus on this is what I can do, and you don't develop other aspects of it.
Right.
In the engineering field, you don't just take somebody's work and say that, I can do it. You just focus on you have to go into the process of planning how you want to execute it in a way that the person would appreciate your job. And these are all part of discipline, meeting deadlines and all that, making sure that you use the right tools for the right job and all that. This is part of the discipline process. So in every field in life, you can't just ignore discipline. Discipline is very important, not just in the engineering field, but in every aspect of life. But then in engineering too, is very needed.
Right. Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Kojo, I know recently people wrote BC and then WASI, and now they are home. I'm sure definitely some parents out there is saying that, they know automatically my child is not really good with academics, so they are planning on maybe sending them to go and learn skill work. That is the perception people have. How harmful is that?
In some way, it's harmful because one way or the other, you are somehow exposing your child, like telling your child nothing good can come out from you. But the thing is, first and foremost, you need to know the strength of the child and the weakness of the child. That is the ultimate goal as a parent. But if you are not able to come up with these things, and you wake up one day, now you finish BC, so I'm sending you to Master Kojo for you to go and learn welding. maybe the child's aim is not to learn welding, but maybe he wants to become an electrician. But how will you know? Because as a parent, you are forcing him or her. They don't have any option than to abide by what you are telling them. But from infancy, if you are able to develop or get to know what the child is good at, by the time he completes or finish the basic education, sending him to go and learn a skill isn't a punishment. But he understands that I need the skill plus the formal education to move forward. Like myself, I was in the space before going to do mechanical engineering. So when I went to do the mechanical engineering, I then realized that most of the things like we do in the space, that's what we have been taught. So it becomes easier for you to understand. And the industry keeps changing.
So how did it make you stand out amongst your peers or your colleagues?
Okay, so let's say in a class of 50 students, you have in-depth knowledge. Though most of us that we are coming, we are from different fields, so we understand what is there. But your people know that when it comes to this part, this person is there. So they don't have to worry. If there is any question, they just have to direct it to you. You'll be able to do the needful. I remember one of my lecturers, he was like, oh, this topic I'm not going to teach. But I will sit down, give you my slides, then you teach your class.
He said that to you?
Oh, yeah. So after giving me the slides, I decided, okay, my people, let's go. And at the end of the day, like, he was so happy, and the people too were happy.
Exactly.
Because we made it like
Very
more
practical.
of, yeah. And the people understood it. I think during that semester, all my guys, we were passing.
Exactly. I think most of the institutions should adapt to this, especially because even when you take an institution like an academic institution, for example, you get a regular student, people who go to school Monday to Friday. You get a weekend student. You get a, how do you call it? Like people who are working and schooling at the same time. You take the class and you realize that about, let me say, 60% of employed people have more knowledge. They are confident in whatever they are doing more than the regular students. And I think it's cut across. But let me come to you, Obed. Would you encourage every young person to at least have one skill, and why?
Of course, I would do. There is no way I can say anything against this, because I believe that skills are the new currency in these times. And now the narration is moving from what degree do you have, what certificate do you have, to what can you do. And what can you do basically is asking, what skills do you have? So yes, I would encourage every person, not just those that already have the intention of going into the skills industry, like every person, whether you have a degree or not, to find skills, because now skills are the new currency or the new order of the day. It's almost the solution to major problems that we are facing in the country now, from unemployment to even this flooding issue and all that. Because yes, this drainage system and all this and causing this flooding, the president mentioned yesterday that the major cause of this flooding in Accra seems to be an engineering problem. And engineering is basically skills. So if we have the right skills in order, I don't think we would have found solution to these problems. Yeah.
You are a manager in an institution, and how is the employment when it comes to people? Like, how well do they, are they receptive when it comes to these skill works? Okay,
so yeah, we are open to everybody. When I mention everybody, I mean those that right away they want to enter into the the skills sector, or those that already have entered into the formal sector, they want to come and find something attached to it. So we take people who are already in the universities or the tertiary institution, like from the technical universities or from the various universities that are willing to intern or do attachments to whatever they are doing in school. We take people that are from senior high school. They don't want to go into the formal sector. They just want to enter into the skill industry and learn the skill. We take people that, like I said, from the right goal, they want to enter into the skills. And so from apprentices to those that already have skills and want a place to work and all that. Yeah.
I have a question, but before then, let me ask this one. So between somebody who is skilled and somebody who is not skilled at all, who are you likely to employ?
Somebody who is skilled and somebody who is not skilled at all. Who am I likely to employ?
Right.
I think the answer is obvious. We will employ the one who is skilled, but not that we don't need a person who is not skilled, because I think I heard this somewhere that don't just build connections with people who have already risen, because for them you know their future already.
Right.
Build to those who are yet to, because for them you don't know what they are able, what they can do. So it's not like we will just ignore somebody who is not skilled. That is why we are an institution. So if you are not skilled and you are willing to get something, yes, we are likely to work with you to train you through the process so that you get something for yourself. Yeah.
Right. But from your personal experience, are skilled artisans actually in high demand as of now?
Yes. I believe they are very much in high demand, more than even degree holders. Yes. Like I mentioned earlier, now they are the solution to the problems that we are facing as a country. Because now the government cannot employ everybody, or they've come to the realization that it's not everybody that needs to be employed by the government. People can equally develop skills and employ themselves. And so people are now encouraging people to go into skill training and all that. So I think, yes, like I mentioned earlier, skills are the new currency of the day, and everybody needs to get one.
It's good that today's job market is changing like rapidly. Now, you tend to appreciate more skills than, not done. I think it comes hand in hand. You have to know the theory and then the practical as well. That's what's actually makes you stand out. But let me come to Mr. Kojo. Which practical skills would you recommend young people explore, especially now that we are in a season of we're in a season where BEC people are now home, WASI people are now home? What skills can you tell them to explore before they enter the tertiary?
Okay, so as it stands now, we have different skills. So let's say when you go into the digital space, our young brothers and sisters can learn coding.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's one of the skills that pays a lot nowadays. And let's say when you go into the technical space too, they can equally go into the welding field, the electrical field, and also when it comes to the entrepreneurship field, because it's one thing, let's say the child knows how to handle his business, knows how to do buying and selling, and like just a slight touch of marketing, the sweet words to let you buy whatever thing he or she is selling. And when they are able to learn these things, they will be earning something small even before they go to school. And when they go to school, they can still be doing these things and will be earning something small aside what their parents are giving them. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Obed, what skills would you think will be very valuable in the next 10 to 20 years to come?
I think I can't just pinpoint certain skills, one skill. I think every skill is very important. And in the years to come, every skill will equally be very important as well. So from digital skills like coding to creative skills like makeup, cooking, everything, and to the technical skills like plumbing, engineering, welding, electrical works and all that, they are all very important as well.
I think
it will still be important in years to come.
So apart from engineering, what skill would you have chosen?
Apart from engineering, what skill would I have chosen? I don't know, but I think I have quite. I believe I possess quite a number of skills, soft skills. For myself, I possess most of the soft skills than the technical skills or the engineering skills. I have the adaptability, the critical thinking, problem-solving skills. So that's why I'm in that position in that particular company, not just like as a technician, but then because of these soft skills that I have.
Right. What about you, Mr. Kujo?
Yeah, for me, the engineering space, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, because being able to solve problems is one thing that has been the ultimate goal. But let's say apart from the engineering, it all comes back to the soft skills. Because you can have the ability to do or be in the engineering space, but there are certain things that we look out for as an individual. Because there is one thing that we always use to define one person.
Right.
Oh, this person is good at this. Like my brother saying, problem solving. If you're a problem solver, wherever you are, whenever there is a situation, they won't come and call somebody who can solve the problem.
Right.
Yeah, and even like approaching people, how to welcome people.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's something that you need somebody
to do that.
And
that's what makes you very relevant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then before we go, I would like you to speak to parents. I would like you to speak to young people. I would like you to speak to guidance. What final message do you have for them in regards to skills development?
Okay, so I'll start with our brothers and sisters.
Okay.
They shouldn't think or have the notion that if you are being told to go into any of the skill training fields, it's a punishment. Rather, your parents are doing you good. They are putting you in a space whereby even if they are not there to do the most for you, you can do the most for yourself. And as parents too, one thing I want them to also know that they shouldn't let their children feel odd because academically the child is not good. So go and learn some work. That one you'll be good. But in that field, if you are not academically good,
you cannot
be there.
Right.
Because we are always solving problems. We need the creative minds over there.
Right.
So the child cannot read, cannot write, cannot do anything for himself. Bringing him there is a punishment to whoever you are sending the child to. But on a more serious note, it's their duty to know the strength of their children from infancy. Because I remember you come during our days in school, they will just bring, if you add yellow to red, you are getting orange.
Right.
So all that I know is if you add yellow to orange, yellow to red, you are getting orange. But I didn't have the practical experience.
You didn't have the colors to mix for you to see the outcome.
They could have done it this way. They give you the colors, they tell you, do something with them. Mix this, mix that. And at the end of it, they realize that when the child gets the practical experience of it, you know that, oh, now, if you take this color and you add it to this is what you are getting. But we didn't get it that way. And so most of us grew up without having that creative mind. And it's something that is not doing the nation good. Because the parents are not able to develop or know what the child can do
better
from their infancy.
Thank you very much. Now let's hear from you, Mr. Obed.
Sorry.
Well, let's hear from you. What's your advice to young people? And also tell us if you have any projects upcoming where we can find modern fabrications.
Okay. So, like I said, skills are the new currency of the day. And modern fabrication, we are a Ghanaian metal and fabrication company that specializes in delivering high quality welding and fabrication solutions to residential, commercial, or industry sectors. And so we deal with any kind of metal work, from burglar proof to access ladder to lifelines to a well metal structure and all that. And by kind courtesy of our director, we have this free apprenticeship program where we take apprentices. We don't take any money. We take them through the process of learning welding and fabrication free of charge.
For how many?
For 3 years. For 3 years, free. We don't take anything.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is also a call to people out there, parents or whoever wants to learn welding and fabrication, that we have this program that we have accommodation for some people, so those are coming from far. So we can take them throughout the whole apprenticeship program for free. And we are located at Spinters, along the Sakumono Road, Spinters Sakumono stretch, Kasapreko Junction. We're also located on Google Map also, so when you put modern fabrication on Google Map, it will lead you directly to the office. Yes.
Please, manager, can somebody have like 10 skills? Because I'm interested.
But
I'll come and see you.
Yes,
I want
yes.
to enroll.
Oh, yes. You can have as many as you want, so far as you are ready to learn and all that.
Wow. I just hope that young people out there will take opportunity of this particular one. Free. It's not easy to see stuff like this. How did you come up with this, though?
Yeah, I think it's a way of our director giving back to the society.
Okay.
So he believes that he believes in the potential of young people and what if they are given the opportunity they can do, and what skills have done for him. So that's why he thinks that as a way of giving back to the society, he decided to bring up with this initiative. That's the free apprenticeship program, where if you are ready to learn, we give you the opportunity to train you for the whole period for free. We don't take anything.
This is a good one. And we say thank you to your management
Yes.
for putting this out there. I'm just hopeful that people will take advantage of this very one. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for this very insightful conversation. And our conversation has come to an end. And we just hope that people would not just go for the formal education, but also have the skills to do what they want to do in the near future. But before we go, let's find out from you where we can find you, and also your telephone number, if you can mention it for us to display.
Okay, so modern fabrication, we are located at along the Spinters stretch or the Spinters Road, specifically Kasapreko Junction. And we are also on Google Map as well. So when you put modern fabrication on Google Map, it can direct you straight to the office. And our contacts, we have 024 819 9175. 024 819 9175. And another one is 020 898 8194. 020 898 8194. So any of these, you can contact us on any of these numbers.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much. Thank you so much for being with us on the show. Next is the business segment with Peter Ojo Insia. Make sure you are stay tuned. My name is Annabelle Belgin. I'm out.
Hello there, good morning to you and welcome. This is the Business Update segment on the Koko This Morning Show. And as usual, on this segment, we provide you with the latest in the world of business, expert analysis and market trends that will impact your business and investment decisions. I'm your host, Peter Insia. Now to our stories. Investor demand for treasury bills stayed strong on the primary market last week, with the government raising more than planned. Bank of Ghana data show investors place substantial bets across short and medium-term tenors, while authorities accepted a significant portion of offers, reflecting a healthy oversubscription. The results suggest renewed investor interest in government short-dated instruments following a period of softer demand as the Treasury's funding requirements increase. Participation was strongest in the longest maturity tranche, which attracted the majority of bids and helped drive total mobilization. Shorter tenors also received meaningful bids, with the government accepting most offers in line with overall funding targets. Yields rose across the curve, indicating higher return expectations from investors. Analysts believe the next auction may remain well covered as rate adjustments continue. The Treasury is expected to target a larger raise next year. Away from that story, Dr. Johnson Pandit Esiama, governor of the Bank of Ghana, said Ghana's recent microeconomic improvements reflect careful economic management, stronger domestic revenue efforts, and policy reforms. He pointed out that inflation has fallen sharply from over 54% in 2022 to 3.7% in May 2026, and that the country is running a primary fiscal surplus. He also reported that gross international reserves rose to $14.4 billion United States dollars in May 2026, crediting progress to careful planning. Speaking at the BSI Roundtable of Governors from African Central Banks in Basel on 27 June 2026, he noted that external funding is now costlier, less reliable, and harder for some countries to access. As a result, governments are turning more to domestic borrowing to fund infrastructure, reduce exchange rate risk, broaden funding sources, and mobilize local savings, while warning of growing risk domestic financial systems. And that's all for the Business Update segment on the Koko Digest Morning Show. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Peter Insia. The online and print paper review segment continues right after this. Please stay.
You're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show. And if you're just tuning in, we're continuing the conversation we started earlier on the online and print review segment. I'm doing this with my co-hosts in the persons of Ms. Bevelyn Andoville and Mr. Peter Nsia. So as we know, yesterday Accra was devastated by the rains, and this has led to floods that have cost us lives and property, and we're continuing the conversation. We have our colleagues on the grounds today who are, checking one or two here and there, finding out some of the state of some people out there, how life is right now, what's the way forward is for some people, and if the waters have also subsided, and we'll be interacting with them as and when that is also ready. We would encourage you to send your comments to the WhatsApp number displayed onto your screens, or to the YouTube or Facebook live stream. And when the phone lines are opened, I will do well to alert you so you can call and weigh in. We have a listening government. We have solutions. We're all thinking of solutions to curb this canker. We might as well share with our leadership. So let's get back into the conversation. So while we were off, I was thinking about the fact that we are not the only ones experiencing these floods. Yeah. We have our Nigerian, Beninois, and Togolese brothers and sisters also being faced with these flooding issues, and it's making me wonder that this thing they say about Africans, we tend to have similar problems. Is it truly? Is it a black man thing? Is it an African man thing? Or predominantly for the fact that we are all just coastal nations, we are more predisposed to such issues?
I mean, like you rightly said, in as much as that plays a major role, sometimes our behavior and what have you, there is one that it's inevitable that we cannot take away. That is the climate change. Climate change, we cannot actually control. But all that we can do is to prepare for the rainy season and what have you. And that is what, back here in Ghana, we are discussing our preparations for the rainy season and what have you. And it looks as though from all indications, we don't have proper, settlement. We don't have proper planning. I mean, we are not proactive in terms of some of these things. And I'm sure that those outside to the countries that you made mention of are also facing the same issue. But largely, like I said, some of these things are inevitable, like the climate change. And so we have to prepare adequately for it. And here in Ghana, it looks like though we are never prepared for this rainy season.
All right. Okay, so with that being said, let's come to the Ghanaian attitude. Since this is happening in Ghana, we are focused on Ghana. The fact that some of these videos, you can see so much rubbish or so much filth, being transported by these waters. And like you mentioned earlier, some people are also now dumping their own residential garbage into the flooding waters. I think even discussion about us, we've answered it so many times, but again, since we are continuing this conversation, I think at this point it's more of the repetitiveness to make it sink into our minds that this is a problem we all have a hand in, from leadership down to the last man. What are some of the things you think about when it comes to these, waste management? Because personally, when I think about waste management, I know that it's going to be an expensive investment for the nation. But I think with a conversation with somebody, one of our guests some time back, they were talking about the fact that going to gather these bits of rubbish, the plastics and all of that, clearing them. I think it was the personnel from EPA, where we were talking about having to clean them up and recycle them. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of investment. But I'm thinking about it from the perspective of the value chain, that so many people are unemployed. So many people are looking for jobs. What if as a nation, just like we are pushing for the agriculture to expand the sector, to make it more industrialized and all of that, what if we actually, invest in it, and then from picking up the rubbish, from cleaning it, from turning it into something else, or reusing it in our system as one thing or the other, don't you think that this is going to create a whole lot of jobs for people? Because we have so much filth. And the filth is in different categories. We have the biochemical e-waste and whatnot and plastic
But I
waste.
think the one
so many
leading
things.
now is the plastic.
Yes,
waste.
plastic waste is the biggest problem we have.
And over the years, there's been a conversation about this waste management, and there's an ongoing education about how people should dispose their rubbish by separating the plastics from the manure and what have you, to ensure that the waste management institutions can actually put them into use. So I think that kind of conversation is currently ongoing. But you see, the issue currently, like you said, we've had extensive conversations about it, and even our viewers watching us know some of the solutions to these problems. And as I stated earlier, that about our indiscipline, planning, and what have you, some amount of money has been invested, and that is the $350 million Garrett project from the World Bank. The last time we were talking about it, and it looks as though work is ongoing, but the progress is something lacking. And then I am even of the view that currently, as what we are seeing currently, I don't think they can even progress with the work. But you see, putting that one aside, yesterday when I was watching the videos online and listening to reports and what have you, two things came in mind. People are mounting pressure on Ghana National Fire Service and NANBO.
Yeah.
And we can all attest to the fact that with what played out yesterday, these institutions lacked so many, tools and equipment to undertake their duties. And then even the personnel, in as much as I think the Ghana National Fire Service has about 68,000 or so. When it comes to the personnel and with what was happening simultaneously yesterday across, some reports indicate that even in the central region, 13 districts were flooded. Even here in Accra, so many places happening simultaneously. How many are they? How many resources? How many tools do they have to combat some of these things? And even with what happened at Odona, a whole lot of people are saying that they went there on time, but the flood, they couldn't get there. So they had to deploy boats to ensure that they pick some of the people out. And so on this note, I would like to say kudos to the Ghana National Fire Service, the NADBO, and even the ambulance service, and all that is helping to fight this menace. And so I think that in as much as we are talking about the solution to this problem, we should also, force government and, private institutions who can afford some of these equipment for the Ghana National Fire Service and the NADMO to help them, go out with their duties, promptly. Because
and I think for some time now we've had conversations where the fire service and the NADMO, they tell us they have the equipment. I don't know, like some few months ago we had them. They said they had the equipment, but this was beyond measure. So is there any how do I call it? Is there any preparations just in case the ones that they have are not enough?
Well, they do say they have the equipment, but they always say that there is always room for more. Because when we are going to look at things like this, we need to look at it per the population. So even if they say they do have the equipment, and it is, so we have how many, 276 or 8 constituencies. Right. If we have just 276 fire trucks, it does not serve us. Exactly. Because a constituency contains how many districts, how many neighborhoods, and look at the populations, right? So yes, we may have the equipment, but obviously we need more. Because I saw a video where these NADMO personnel, so they had this really thick rope, the one we use for tug of war, yes, and they had stretched it across the moving water so people can cross. So you have to hold on to it, and you can see that this personnel was also struggling with the water, and this was posted on social media, and it really hurts me to see that people were mocking the person. This is somebody putting their life on the line to save yours. And rather we are getting to make jest of these people instead of bringing our minds back home to the fact that no, this is someone out here. If this person had not decided to do this, imagine how many people probably would have lost their lives.
So I'm saying that looking at all this perennial flooding, I just think that we were not expecting it. We were not prepared.
Yes,
enough.
As a nation, we're not prepared because we don't have enough equipment. Exactly. We don't have enough personnel. And the personnel issue, Peter will say budgeting issues where they cannot pay them. The government may not be able to pay all of them. And even the rope thing, I don't think that is the peak of, technology with that, because why are we still at the level of having to just use a rope to get people across when there could have been so many different bits of technology that could be employed to make this easier and not cause more casualties, So again, we lack equipment. NADMO is lacking, the National Fire Service is lacking, even ambulance service is lacking a lot of equipment as, compared to what they need to serve. And this is just flooding issue. Imagine, then this flooding issue is concentrated here in Accra. Imagine this was happening in multiple regions simultaneously. What's going to happen to these people?
Yeah, so before you come in, I have never come across any reportage from the services saying that they have enough, equipment. But with that being said, I think that we have to take into consideration the training of these, personnel into perspective. The other time we were talking about how often do we train our security personnel and people like this. And so you made mention of a video where people were making fun of a personnel who was trying to save life. And so in as much as we call on them, there's a need for, routine, training for our people. Was not and then with the volunteers.
It was a physique. So the person was a little slimmer and form. And the water, from the pressure, no matter the training, you are likely.
You see, I don't want us to go to that tangent because we are talking about a serious issue, and I know that we will go to that tangent sometime once we are done with this. Because when it comes to institutions like this, the people that they employ, they matter a lot.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they have specific people that they employ because of some of these things. But over the years, we've seen that our people here, they don't give them training. And then with NADBO as well, they have volunteers. With the volunteers that we have, how
well trained are they?
You understand? And so in as much as we are saving lives, people can, get in there and save lives. But it will take one who really understands what is actually happening to be able to save life. Sometimes we say that, like you can be learning, but you are learning the wrong thing. And so you can be there trying to save life, but
you're not doing
I want us to draw our attention to the video playing at the moment. Look at the amount of filth. And as much as there is filth, some of these are also people's wooden structures that the water has decided it is demolition. It is going to do its own demolition for us and clear its way to go and find its way to the sea. Look at, and this is just a portion of Accra.
You could even see that it has separated itself. You can see the plastic somewhere, and you can see the wooden.
These wooden structures that people have been prohibited time and again from constructing. Now the water itself has come to do the demolition.
We had all these fields in our cities. Now, even let's even talk about our health.
And I was thinking about that. The infections people are going to probably pick up from having to dwell in these waters to find safety.
The cholera and what have you.
Bilharzia and
one leader, I think about 2 months ago was asking that we learn how to swim. Okay. Even if we learn how to swim, look at the filter right now. You don't know whether sharp objects, glasses, everything. Mixture.
And from the way the water is moving, the best you can equate it is to the sea.
Exactly.
That the currents, you may think you know how to swim. People know how to swim and they are drowning, So is it really about learning how to swim?
Honestly.
I think it goes beyond that. And
with even the infection thing, my mind has just come to the fact that people can pick up tetanus because, all these wooden structures, these nails, rust, and it is so dangerous.
Let's also talk about the economic aspect of it. Yesterday, businesses
but before
came to a halt.
we come to the economic aspect, we were talking about NADMO too, and I was going to say also that with NADMO, the training may happen, but if we want to be realistic about how they are trained, we need to look at the fact that they may have the training, they may be given some training, all right, but in a case like this flooding issue, there is no way to fully anticipate the magnitude of the waters and how to put yourself there in order to be able to, I don't know, You get the picture I'm painting.
But I get it. But then I would like to. I seem not
you don't
to
agree
with you because I mean
so
this is
do
not
they
the
do the
first
training
time. It has
in
been
a
happening.
pool? So that's the thing. Maybe we need to find out more information about how they do these things, because you might be told that okay, when you are entering the water, make sure you go against the current and whatnot. But when the water is there, it's no longer go against current. It's survival.
I'm not disputing that fact, but I'm disputing the fact that you said they did not anticipate this.
I said maybe it's likely.
If that is an excuse, then I don't think we would accept that because this has been.
I'm not defending them. I'm asking that.
Exactly.
What if these are some of the things? That's why maybe you see somebody from NADMO struggling a little to even find their footing before they go and save somebody.
Oh, that one is bound to happen no matter what, like you said. I mean, that one is bound to happen, but I'm talking about, training in general. And this has been happening. We should have anticipated this. And then every year, the number of rains that fall increases. And we were fortunate that the Ghana Meteorological Agency actually warned us high time. And then yesterday, when the president was speaking, he made mention of something that the rains this year, he made mention of 140 millimeters that was dumped, here in Accra, as compared to the rain.
Okay.
Yes, as compared to last year, there's been an increment. So agencies like this should know this beforehand. And then, like I said, I'm not putting blame on anyone, but I'm talking about the training and more education. Right now, there were places that we didn't get some of the NADMO, personnel around. It was volunteers, people themselves trying to, rescue others. So I think that going forward, there should be more of education and we should get proper planning. We know the places that are flood-prone areas that we know that whenever there is 5 minutes rain, the place is likely to flood. If we are not making plans to evacuate those people, demolish those buildings there, and we want to be, reacting to some of these things, then we need better training. Those days, we need to train them. And if we lack personnel, let's employ more and let us give them
Your usual song
actually...
you've been singing about budget constraints. If we employ them, do we have the capacity to pay them as well?
I mean, we are talking about lives here, and this has persisted for so many years. And by now, we should be able to, save life. You see, the cost that this is going to... The cost that Ghana is going to inherit from this, we have no idea. I mean, look at the relief items that are going. It is not even going to solve the issue.
No,
now we are talking about health.
Because there are more
for some time. Yes, for some time you will hear about cholera outbreak and what have you. And this is a burden on government.
And already we are in a rainy season, so we are cholera prone at this point because of the water. I think it's a waterborne disease, no? From our social studies, yes.
Yeah.
We are already going to be likely to face cholera issues if we don't look, we don't particularly pay attention to our sanitation and disposing of, the defecations and rotting food and all of that. But you were also pointing to the economic aspect of all of this before we came back to the NADMO issue.
Yes. So yesterday, the whole of Accra, businesses came to a halt because cars were not moving.
Yeah.
Even here in the ministries, most people did not. Yes. And then because of the rains, most people couldn't go to the central business district.
I mean, the roads were all blocked.
They were all blocked. And so you can imagine if we are to quantify it like the numbers into, how much people make a day and all that, they've lost a huge amount of money and what have you.
And with that too, I saw a video where somebody said these flooding issues are a source of income for them.
Oh.
Where when your car is stuck, he will help you push. Then you give him no fuel. And it may be funny. It is also very sad because do you know how terrible your life needs to be for you to look forward to making money in a disaster? Then there are people too who have decided that when people's property is being cleared, is being demolished and swept away, they now do their shopping to go and resell. So some people were even weighing cylinders.
I just feel like people these days, most people don't value their lives because let's even take the warehouse incident that happened. Let's even put that one aside. But do you know the harm the rain can cause, even when there's lightning? Do you know the health it can risk it can put you to?
Yes, but here is the case. It is two things. I'm more inclined to say that it is the levels of poverty. The second thing is greed. That in this situation where we should be trying to save lives, you are here looking at it as a business venture. But predominantly, it is poverty. Because why are you now seeing this as a venture to find, items to go and sell later when everything, because you don't even have what you eat tomorrow? With the issue on the warehouse too, I think somebody was interviewed and he said that these foreign nationals who own these warehouses, they underpay them. They pay them about 500 cedis or less to work there. And now, apparently, God has punished them by making all these goods, come forward for them to also pick up. So you'd see a lot of people running to pick up these things. Some of these things were relief items. We saw provisions and tea rolls, some groceries, and the rest. And people were happily going to loot these things with no regard for their lives or health.
That's it. It sounds funny, but then it's a very serious issue that we shouldn't, tolerate. That is the same thing that, when accidents occur, like the tankers, and you see people rushing to
go and fetch.
I mean, it's high time we punish people like that. Once you're caught in the video doing that, I mean, you can't risk by taking your life. I know the Constitution says that you have the right to everything, but you can't take your life just like that. Even, you see, yesterday, whilst all this was playing, there was, communique coming from the Interior Ministry.
Yeah.
I saw one and I was like, oh, if you are now moving, stay home. And I asked myself, at this point in time, do some people have where they call homes? Because everywhere is flooded. They need to go out to get a better place to stand. And so I was thinking, when is this going to end? When is this going to end? And so I think that we have to be proactive in some of these things. And I'm also, once again, I'm also glad that the president, after his aerial tour, made mention that there will be a national security meeting to identify some of these places, and he's asking district assemblies in collaboration with the Ministry of Works and Housing to identify, some of these places for demolition exercises. And the other time when we were having this conversation, I made mention of they demolishing these buildings without removing the debris, leaving it there, it's cost 90. But this time around, the president says once they identify these things, they demolish them, they are going to remove all those things to ensure that there's free flow of everything. And that is what comes in. He made mention of something that I've been complaining about. And even I made mention of it this morning, that people will be like, this government is inhumane. And that is what we have tolerated over the years. And we are seeing some of these disasters. I mean, development comes at a cost.
Yeah.
And as we speak now, people are dying. Young people, children are dying. The innocent ones are dying. So if you sit down, you see some of these things, and the government want to correct some of these things, and you think that the government is being inhumane towards you, then I think so be it. You have to take drastic measures to ensure that we save, people.
Right.
Actually, lives has been lost. Even the previous flooding that occurred, lives were lost, properties were destroyed. Yesterday, we saw Circle New Plan Station.
Yeah, we even have videos of the current state.
Buses were submerged in the water. Now, let's even take, even without a flooding day, a normal day, see the exorbitant fares
the drivers are charging. Oh, God.
All in the name of maintenance and everything. Now, we heard that, what's the name? People that drive, what's the name?
The motorists.
No. The life of the tools in the vehicle, what the cost is about 40,000.
Okay, so we have a video. The video playing is the current state of Circle Station. Yes, let's take note. So it seems the waters have subsided a little. People are recouping. And we also have a video on the current state of the Odo. Is it Odo now, Odo?
Most people say Odo.
Okay, yes. So it seems that the waters are moving slowly but surely.
So you see, this situation, for instance, like the other time I was talking about where the rains come from the north of Accra, somewhere from Aburi. When it rains, it falls like it
descends.
Some of the rivers like the Abokobi and the rest. It comes down to areas like Circle, what have you, then to the Odo, then to the Koli Lagoon, then straight to the sea. But we've blocked these drainage, and so whenever it rains, it comes straight to town. And this habit of, settlement, everybody now builds and tiles everywhere.
So the water doesn't get to...
And so whenever it rains, it just flows. You get it? And so I think that we have to also look at our,
And you were talking about the president saying that they have to identify some of these places and all of that. And it draws my mind back to some of the posts. People who know the country's history or certain histories of certain townships. I saw one that was talking about Chado, the Chado area, and the fact that the Peshi Lagoon used to be bigger than that. Parts of it have been filled. Then there was apparently another lake around there. There were streams there, and people have filled these places up and sold the lands. Now, apparently, most of the owners of these lands just built homes there and rented them out. So they are not even the ones facing the current situation at the moment. And yes, Chado seems to be one of those places that is right in town. It's convenient and all of that. But at what cost? Because you see luxurious homes submerged in water. I think there was even this tailor, this fashion designer, as they say, his whole business is gone.
So, Yara, this issue. So, in as much as I don't want to be playing blame game in this issue,
there's enough blame to go
to
all 33 million or approximately 33 million of us here in this Ghana.
Because you, during the first session, you made mention of the chain of institutions that are responsible. We have some that give permits and what have you. So my question is, who are those people who gives permits to people to build in waterways?
They get incentivized a little before they give this permit
because
they are aware. When you go for these land documents, things and site plans and all of that, there are demarcations for where a road is, all of that. And even, let me come to people who live by the coast. You are supposed to give 100-meter buffer zone so that the waves will not worry you. But what are we seeing?
People are building there
because they want there.
And people are also permitting people to build
exactly.
there.
So these things, these institutions are aware.
So it means that, like all of the 8 or 9 institutions that you made mention of, we don't even have a patriotic one amongst them. So if I want to be, say, I want to play the goat here, I know this place is not good for building, and I give the permit. I know there's another institution who is responsible for checking that this place is good. So if I make a mistake, then it means that the other institution that follows, then it means that we have to hold them responsible. Exactly. Accountability is key. Now, let me also take you back to the incident before this one. We saw the incident that happened, buildings collapsed, and we had the NADBO and National Fire Service rescuing people and what have you. Some buildings were earmarked for demolition. Once after that whole, drama unfolded, and it looks as though Ghanaians actually forgot about it.
Yeah.
Some, residents in these areas where some buildings were earmarked came out to say that, these places have been earmarked, these buildings have been earmarked to be demolished. But as of now, we are not seeing the authorities to come back to demolish it. And I heard some reports indicate they are saying there are some, legal something about it. Because that, Ghanaians tend to forget things easily. I was even discussing this with someone that after this, let it shine tomorrow and the following day, and we'll forget about this thing. So these buildings were earmarked, and because we've been able to solve the problem halfway, they left it there. And yesterday, so many buildings collapsed as well. These buildings needed to be demolished even before now. And there are still some, buildings that have, structural integrity problems that needs to demolish. But we are not doing it. We are waiting for some of these buildings to collapse, kill people before we go there. We earmark it and we will never go there again. If there are legal problems with it, this is posing threats to the ordinary Ghanaian there. Don't we have ways of resolving this issue rather than waiting to go through that long process of legal processes?
They can demolish it and go and do their legal
It is high time we have to be serious in this country.
What you're saying too, I remember seeing, there's a lot of commentary on this issue on social media, and I was looking through, somebody also said the same thing, that when it comes to demolishing the kiosks, you see the bulldozers, but immediately it's a residential area, immediately it is it's a building that is affiliated with somebody or a certain institution, then we don't see any bulldozers. But all of them are part of the problem.
Honestly, yeah, I think it's high time we start also holding government accountable, the leaders, the ones at the top. Because tell me why you know that this place is not permitted for people to build there, but just because of your selfish interest, you allow people to build, you permit them.
Is it really then the government? Is it not the institutions at this point?
Yes, institutions. They work for government, so that makes them.
But you know, these institutions too, in a way, I think that it's more like, let's say you want to build somewhere. I'm the official who is supposed to sign off and whatnot. And I know that, no, it is a flood-prone area, you're not supposed to, and I'm telling you. But you decide to grease my palms. Well, as you grease my palms, I'll say, well, I'm not the one going to suffer if it happens, because I have done my part by educating you, informing you. You still want to still stay there and build there. You've given me something small to keep me quiet. I will take it. That is also another aspect of some of these problems that we should also look at. This is not to defend them, but these are the possibilities of some of these interactions, because at this point it doesn't make sense.
Then I think you as leaders, you are not being diligent about your work, because if you know what you're about and you know your job, you go accordingly. You do what you are supposed to do.
But we are in a system where, as I'm the signing off official, maybe you are influential enough, I'm refusing. By the time I realize, they will call me, order from above from my boss to say, sign for Madam Beverly.
I think now we want
isn't
the
that
way
what
forward.
isn't that what happens?
I think now we want the way forward, because see, even there's a new development from Ghana Meteorological Agency. So they are saying that a rainstorm is expected to affect part of southern Ghana from this morning onto the afternoon. The thunderstorms and rain likely to spread to portions of the middle belt later today. And they are saying that we should be prepared to moderate winds, prepared for moderate winds, reduce visibility, and possible localized flooding. This is not ending now.
Yes.
This is not ending now. We want the way forward.
These are the structural problems happening, because even if we don't limit it to this signing of issues, there, when we go to the agencies, there are always talks about these things that sometimes some people pay for certain things to be done for them. Some people they meet maybe an obstacle, which is basically the fact that the official is not ready to do that because it is wrong. But then they go and they sort of skip the chain of command and go and talk to their boss, and then the boss now, do it for him, that kind of thing. It is a structural problem that as human beings too, we are here facing it. We are also perpetrating these things.
Yes, so Yara, so in as much as you can be angry the whole day, but you see, if you are not given the power to ensure that something goes on smoothly, all your anger goes nowhere. And I'm glad that during the Life Matters show,
we have a caller on the line. Sorry, so put in a pin in that. Hello, Michael. Oh, it seems we've lost our caller. Please do well to call again. And that being said, the phone lines are open, so please do well to call and weigh in on the conversation we are having. I would also like to inform you that Life Matters will be showing at 10:30 a.m. today, where the conversation about the floods, the causes, effects, and all conversations around it will be discussed and delved into. So please do stay tuned as you join Miriam Abna Adede at 10:30 a.m. today. Now, Peter, you were saying something.
Yes. So during that show hosted by Miriam, with the assembly member who said that, we were kind of, asking people to be responsible. And you made mention of the fact that sometimes, you want to do the right thing, and they say power from above or something. So I was of the view that now, if we have these institutions that are supposed to ensure that the right thing is being done, and we have people somewhere manipulating them, then there's no need having these institutions. We should just scrap them off. And I think that, we as Ghanaians need to be hard on our leaders. Like, look at the institutions you made mention of that are supposed to be planning. You have the district assemblies. We have a whole lot of institutions to ensure that we have proper settlement, proper planning. Even growing up, everybody, social studies, they'll teach you settlement and whatever, but we are seeing the opposite.
Yeah.
If you have these institutions that we've been paying and they are not, giving their best, it's high time as the as ordinary Ghanaians, we hold them accountable. This is what is happening. And from all indication, we've seen that, I mean, they are not capable enough. They are not competent enough to, ensure that this problem becomes a thing of the past. And then when you tell them, you see, I was telling you, when you go to them, they'll give you full, analysis of everything. They have the topography. They will tell you everything on paper. These are flat-hewn areas. This situation, we have to do this to rectify it. But they are not acting. They are sitting there. What is preventing them from implementing those policies that they have on papers? If the ordinary Ghanaian is becoming a hindrance, we have the law. Apply the law. When you are caught, then they should punish you so that
Ghana will be in prison.
Better. Because it is not ending soon and people are dying.
It's affecting the innocent ones.
Yes. Do you remember also there was a fence that was constructed around somewhere in Makola, right? Mm-hmm. And then the market women were not happy. So they went to force it off. But then, holding on, we have a caller on the line. Hello, Michael?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello?
I'm here.
Right. Thank you so much for calling. Could you please speak up a little?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Please, let's hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please. It's much better.
Okay, so everybody is blaming city authorities.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us are blaming city authorities, but the truth is that. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's a little faint. Okay, please speak. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, but my voice is not what is on the TV.
Okay, no worries. I can hear you now.
Hello?
Yes, hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Okay, the truth is, most of us are blaming city authorities. But what is also true is that most of these buildings along these rivers and wetlands, most of them don't have permits. Most of them don't have permits because if they have permits and such thing this thing has happened, they will be compensated, or they have to be compensated. They have to show that indeed they have permits.
Okay.
And the city or the state should compensate them. But if they don't have permits, that's why they lose everything. So people should understand that before they put out structures, they need permits. But most people don't even bother themselves. Go for the permit. Okay.
Right. Thank you so much. So our caller is also saying that most of the people who also put up some of these structures in the unauthorized areas do not have permits. And usually, if you do have permits, as we were also debating about that, if for whatever reason the official gives you a permit, when something like this happens, you can produce that permit and then you would be compensated. So in this case now, it seems that people know it is wrong to build in some of these areas, and they proceed to do it. So I think that's why we usually see the red paint on certain walls, produce permits by so and so time and all of that. Thank you so much, Michael, for your contribution. That was very insightful. Yeah. So it means that the problem, aside authorities, we ourselves too.
So
we are in it.
This is a critical example. Now, we have the authorities and we have the ordinary Ghanaian, like you rightly stated. Some of these buildings are unauthorized. They don't have building permits. Now we have an institution. We have an institution responsible for checking that people do not build, in waterways or unauthorized places. And once they see that you've built in an unauthorized place, they will pull it down or take the necessary action. So if people are building in waterways, they are building in unauthorized places, they don't have permits, then it means that an institution is lacking and some institution is not working. And this is the district assemblies. They are not supposed to be in their offices. They are supposed to be moving around to ensure that we don't have some of these things. I know if the district assemblies, they are not working, they are just in their offices. That is where people will just build anywhere, mount places anywhere. But then if they are up and doing, they are always patrolling, they are in their district, ensuring that things are put in the right way. Once you mount the building, they'll pull it down. Once you start you'll be
That's all.
called to
Because
do the right
you
thing.
don't just write and produce permits and leave it and go and sleep.
Yeah.
No,
Sometimes
the people
it's
go
late.
back and then build.
Yeah,
And
sometimes when they've gotten to the lengthy level, the middle, the roofing, that's where they are doing that. But and if you are patrolling,
break
if
it
you
down so
are,
it's pain.
I mean, if you are there,
But
and
you
you're
know-
ensuring this, you don't even allow them to start at all.
You
so they are
know
not
that
working.
there's also another aspect of this conversation. This is not to justify the misbehavior.
Yeah.
These people who do not build, who don't have permits and they go building, sometimes what they tend to do is they don't build in the daytime, in the night. But we have another caller on the line. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Thank you for calling.
So you see,
Okay, it's our previous caller.
It will surprise you. It will surprise you that you go to an assembly and there's a department called development control. And this development control, they have only one engineer who is responsible for this whole department. So sometimes manpower is not enough. So it's not like I'm defending the institutions. But as people, we should all know that. We should also know that there are some things that we do that goes against us. It goes to our detriment. But we close our eyes and we just, let me do it. So if there's only one development control officer in the whole of like Ga East municipality, how do you expect this person, like the gentleman there said, going around everywhere? Sometimes even vehicles to go around, they lack. The assemblies don't have them. So this all compounds. This all comes together and makes our development so difficult. If an officer, a development control officer, goes to the office, he's not supposed to use his private vehicle to go around and check what is going on out there. And they don't. If they don't have a vehicle, they don't have the vehicle to do that. How do you expect the work to be done? So it all comes to what is it? Is it governance or the management of the country? So let's all look at it. And as President Mahama said, he's going to reset the country. Let's see to it that we all help and get it reset. We cannot sit and blame people when we don't really know what is going on. People build start from the assembly, goes down there, and the next day they work at night. They work at night because they don't want to take the permit. So we should all understand these things. We should understand that we are building the country, and if we are building a country and you're supposed to take a permit to put up a structure, and decide that you are smart, you don't want to pay the permits. And you see, the work of the development engineer is to see to it that you are doing the right thing. So the works engineer will come to your site and see how the mason is mixing the concrete and all those things. So he will satisfy that indeed, if you use this material to put up this building, even though it might be in a swampy area, if you mix it this way, there's no way it's going to collapse. But because I'm smart, I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay for the permits. I will build at night. I go out there and bring laborers and masons at night. So the next morning, you see that the structure is there and nobody goes there in the daytime. And the engineer is one development control officer. You can do a checkup. You can check how many development control officers are in each assembly. One. One.
Hello?
Yeah. So maybe there are some times that we see as people, we have to also blame ourselves.
Right. Thank you very, very much for your contributions. I think our caller has a lot of info on some of the components of these issues that we are talking about. Yeah. And it's quite sad that we have to wrap the show up. But notwithstanding, Life Matters will be coming up in about 30 minutes, and more conversations on the flooding issues will be had, where you can call and also share your thoughts. So your last takeaways before we go, because I know Peter had something to say. And then callers, please, the WhatsApp number is strictly for WhatsApp and SMS. The WhatsApp number is strictly for WhatsApp and SMS. The call number is also different. So please do take note so you don't call the WhatsApp number. Yes,
Yeah.
Peter.
I mean, we've had this discussion over and over and over again, and then we all know the solutions. It looks as though money isn't the solution to this problem. We all are involved.
Attitude
We
now.
need, yes, we all are
Behavioral.
involved. We have to actually, do the right thing and help with government, and so that we can do the right thing. Please, let us obey the rules and regulation, waste management and everything. Let us be.
So, Peter, so sorry. We'll come back to you. We have another caller as we're wrapping up. So, please, in a minute, let's hear you. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
My
Thank you
name
for
is
calling.
Yeah, I'm just calling from Katamansu.
Okay, so let's hear you in a minute.
Yeah, listen, Mpacho, I send in America. It's all about this town planning or something like that. The sooner a union in the country, the sooner a union and conform what I am on permit at the measures of the deal mission P. Mpacho, hello.
Yes, hello? Hello?
Yeah. Now, and for four, the DBC, CBC. A year, measure a man say, I had a win. Almost the candidacy, a crazy woman, a gamma container of salt. And a yard, a dear. Doesn't have to make sense. So, one man sit down. It's a 2 meters from the road. I think personally. Now, one of them say anything. I 2 meters. I can be so in this store. In terms of say, if you are in the Paripona, we are quite, especially a different walkway, in the abo kiosk. It is so because what offense for I'm a free now. What offense for no, I'm not one man permit. So from the kiosk. I'm and all about town planning. I know Mama telling some for Ghana in Facebook. But on every key, I can be fans for Kenya. We travel, let's say, to get this action. The right person. That's easy.
Thank you so much for your contribution. So I think if I get what he's saying correctly, because it was a bit faint, talking about people giving access to people to put up kiosks at certain points. Peter, you are the key man. You would be able to explain.
I mean, so basically, it was just talking about the fact that you also spoke about places that they've been given to. Mostly when you are given a place to build, you are given a line. You have to ensure that you don't encroach those lines. I mean, he's also talking about that aspect of it. But in the nutshell, 1 minute before I go, I think that, I mean, government should provide enough, legal dumping sites, because also the president made mention of the fact that people are now dumping illegally. They are dumping at, waterlogged areas to fill those places and sell those lands. So I think that going forward, our district assembly should be up and doing. And then we clearly understand from some of our colleagues that, the district assemblies, they are there, but they are not capable. We need more. And so all of us should be up and doing, all institutions, district assemblies, and what have you. And then I was just told that it is raining here in Accra, and I'd like to go through the weather forecast for Accra and Kasua quickly. So Aflawo and Logan, Accra, Kasua, Winneba this afternoon, Jimbet says there's 40% chance of rain. Please take care. Ensure that you put your things at the right places. If you are now leaving the comfort of your home, pick an umbrella and ensure that you put your things and at the right places. And the same thing applies to those in the middle belt as well. It is going to rain. There's 40% chance of rain as well. So please let us take note and ensure that we don't find ourselves wanting right after the rain.
Right. Thank you so much. So, Beverly, your takeaways.
Oh, yeah, this is a very sad situation. We didn't hear good news. But we also saw from how Accra was on halt yesterday, businesses were still. I mean, no one could leave the comfort of their homes. People who had their homes didn't know where to run to. So, we, as a country, we have to be serious, honestly. Our leaders have to, do maybe a comprehensive plan, maybe 2 to 3 years, 4 years, one that would, avert this flooding. Otherwise, in the next year, like next year by this time, if they don't plan well, we'll still be here taking videos and pictures of people's homes being flooded in areas.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much. And I think I would just also say that from the look of things, the flood seems to be getting worse every year. And this should tell us something, that if we do not clear the pathway for nature, nature herself will clear it. And lastly, so the citizen leadership, we all need to be up and doing. We are each to blame for what we are going through right now. Let us be responsible. Let's save our mother Ghana, and God bless our homeland Ghana. This brings us to the end of the Koko Digest Morning Show. Thank you so much for joining us. Please do stay safe. Carry an umbrella. Find a very safe vantage point to be. If you have shelter, you can offer to a friend or a loved one or even a stranger. Please extend a helping hand to somebody today. And join Life Matters in about 30 minutes as we continue the conversation on the flooding issues there. See you on Thursday bright and early. Have a good day.